Hey friends, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to the Board Game Garden. Today, we're going to be taking a little bit of a step back in time, and I'm going to be talking about 10 games that I want to play from at least 10 years ago. So these are games from, 1990 something all the way up to, I think the most recent one is 2013, so 10 years ago. And these are all games that I feel like I really want to experience. Older games are where all of these newer games that we are seeing have come from and have been built from. And I feel like I need to experience some of these older games. There are even some like in 2014, 2015, 2016 that I still need to experience as well. If you guys want to see those, then definitely let me know and I'll do another video of like games I want to try from this year to this year, I guess. I can definitely do that, but I have my laptop here. I have, I think actually 12 games. I'm going to be talking about 2 as honorable mentions, and then the rest of them are going to be 10 others that I want to try. There's a bunch of different games, some that I've heard a lot about, some that I haven't heard people talk about, and they're just games that I really want to play. I don't know if I want to necessarily own all these, but I would love to at least experience them once. So if you guys want to hear these 10 games, actually 12 games that I want to try from over 10 years ago, then just keep on watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy. Hit that subscribe button if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. We've officially hit 17,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. I appreciate the support. And speaking of support, I do have a Patreon, and this video actually did come from the Patreon members. So every once in a while I put up a poll of, a few different video ideas that I've been toying with, and this ended up being a video that was a winner of one of those polls. So huge shout out to the Patreon community, the Board Game Garden Patreon community, for voting for this video. And yeah, the link to the Patreon will be down below if you guys want to join and support the garden if you are able and willing. I would really, really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into this video, shall we? All right, so like I mentioned, I do have 2 honorable mentions. One is a game that I have technically kind of played in a way, and then another one is just a small card game that I want to play. So the first one that I'm talking about is Agricola. So Agricola, I believe, originally got published in 2007, I think is when the first one came out. I think there is a revised version now that came out in like 2016 or something, but I'm counting this as the original Agricola that was published in 2007. I really want to play Agricola because Francis and I have played Caverna. We absolutely love Caverna. We've really been enjoying some of the Uwe games that we've played. We've played Caverna, we've played or I've played Indian Summer, which I really enjoyed. We've also played Newsfjord, which actually, when did Newsfjord come out? I'm interested in that. Please hold, everyone. Newsfjord came out in 2017. Okay, so Newsfjord is a little bit more of a recent one of Uwe's, but yeah, I really want to try Agricola. Technically, Caverna is very similar to Agricola. A lot of people refer to Caverna as Agricola 2.0, I guess, but I would really love to have the opportunity to play Agricola. You have a farm and you're growing this farm, feeding your family, all of these things. So yes, that is my first honorable mention. That is honorable mention. There we go. That is Agricola. Moving on to my second honorable mention. So like I said, this is a small card game that was published in 2004, and that is No Thanks. So this is a little bit of like a push your luck card game where you are trying to end the game with the least amount of points, I believe. And there are cards numbered 3 all the way to 33. And you are either taking a card saying, okay, I'll take that one, or you're saying no thanks, you're putting a token on it, and those tokens will build up until someone says, okay, I'll take that card then. That card will be added to their tableau, and at the end of the game, if you have any runs of cards, so for example, if you had a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you would only score the lowest card in that run. So you would only score for the 6. So you're kind of pushing your luck, trying to make these runs, seeing how long you can get these runs to go for, and saying either, yeah, I'll take that card, or no thanks, and putting a token on it. And I believe each token that you have at the end of the round, if you do take a card that has a bunch of tokens on it, all of those tokens are -1 point for you at the end of the game. So, you know, taking a card that has a lot of tokens might help you in the end if you can have that card be part of a set. So you're kind of like, okay, I'll take that card to get the tokens and hopefully I can make it run by the end of the game so that I don't score this maximum amount that I just took. So yes, it sounds like a very fun game. Not similar to Scout and stuff like that. We've been really enjoying Scout and Fuji Flush, and I feel like No Thanks is in that realm of just great card games. It can play up to 7 people, which is awesome. So No Thanks is definitely one that I would love to have in the collection and try eventually. Okay, so those are my 2 honorable mentions, but moving into the 10 that I have here, I believe I have them in order of like ascending. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is the earliest one, and then it goes up from there. And I will say I don't think I have any. I think the earliest one that I have is 2008. And I did look at games all the way into like 1990 something, and none of the early ones really caught my eye. So I will say that these are technically games from 2008 all the way until 2013. No Thanks was 2004, so that one was probably actually the earliest, and then Agricola was 2007. So moving on to my top 10, the first one that I wanted to chat about is Le Havre or Le Havre. I don't know how it is pronounced, but it is another Uwe Rosenberg game. I just really want to try more Uwe Rosenberg games, and this is one of the earlier ones that I have discovered. There's also, I think Glass Road is from Uwe as well. Really want to try that one. It's a little bit earlier, and then there's more of his recent ones like Atiwa, Hallertau, A Feast for Odin. I have played on BGA, but I'd love to play A Feast for Odin physically eventually. I feel like the tactile, putting all the different tiles into that polyomino board would be very satisfying. But Le Havre is one that I have always loved. Tom Vassell over at the Dice Tower has always spoke really highly of Le Havre, and both Francis and I really enjoy like the fisherman theme. That's why we tried Newsfjord as well, because we loved that theme. I don't know exactly how Le Havre plays, but I'm assuming it's very similar to the vibes of all of the other Uwe Rosenberg games. Like I mentioned, we enjoy Newsfjord, we also enjoy Caverna. So yes, this one is, I'm assuming, something about being a fisherman and getting goods and stuff and doing different things in that way, upgrading goods, building buildings, all of the typical things that you find in an Uwe Rosenberg game. So that is my number 1. That is Le Havre or Le Havre. The next game is actually, I believe, the first like worker placement game. A lot of people say that this is what really started the worker placement genre, and that game is called Stone Age. Stone Age is a worker placement game, and it, I believe, is obviously like a Stone Age theme. Travel to the time of hunters and gatherers in the classic game of Tools and Tribes. So it sounds very fun. Like I said, it's worker placement, set collection, endgame bonuses, dice rolling. I didn't know there was dice in this game, and as well as contracts. So I feel like this is just one that I need to experience, being someone that really enjoys worker placement games, and this one being kind of what started that genre. I don't know if this is exactly what started the worker placement genre, but I know it's one of the more popular very early on worker placement games. So I do really want to try that one, and I do love the like Stone Age theme to it. So that is my number 2. That is Stone Age, which was published in 2008. Le Havre, I believe, was also published in 2008. Moving on to the next one. This one, I think the main reason why I want to try this one is purely for the theme. And I think I mentioned in a video quite a long time ago, I was talking about different themes that I want to see in board games. And one of them is brewing potions and being a witch and gathering ingredients and brewing potions and stuff. And Witch's Brew, which was published in 2008, is that pretty much. It is a card game. It is 3 to 5 players, which I don't really love that player count. Usually I like games that can be played at least 2 players so that Francis and I can play it together. But Witch's Brew is a card game primarily. There is simultaneous action selection, hand management. I believe it says there's bluffing as well, which I'm like, don't really love the bluffing part of it. But maybe I don't know what part of the game that is, but I think I really want to try this one purely based off of the fact that it is literally collect ingredients and make valuable potions by outguessing your opponents. Ooh, okay. So yes, that is my number 3. That is Witch's Brew. The next game that I'm going to talk about is one that I want to try so bad. This is a game that I saw pretty early on in our board game journey, and it has been one that I've wanted to play for so long. I'm pretty sure my friend Daryl has this game, so Daryl, if you're watching this, I don't know if you watch my videos, Daryl, but if you have Tobago, Tobago, pretty sure he does, please can we play it? Tobago is Tobago, I don't know how you pronounce it, is a deduction game where you are racing to try to find where the hidden treasure is on a map. And I don't know exactly how it plays. I watched a little bit of gameplay of it on someone's like vlog of Dice Tower East or Dice Tower West, and it looks so much fun. You're like playing cards down in order to try to deduce where exactly on this map the treasure is, and then you're moving to that spot and then seeing if that's where the treasure is, and you're hoping to be the first one to find the treasure. So yes, Tobago is definitely probably one of the higher ones on this list that I would love to try, just because I do love a good deduction game. Next up is actually a solo game, and this is a game that is always so highly talked about in the solo gaming community, and just this entire series of games. I actually don't think it is a solo only, because it does say 1 to 2 players here. But that game is Onirim, I believe that's how you pronounce it. There is a whole series of these types of games. I don't know if they all play differently or they all just have maybe similar art. And I do think that they are all soloable. But yes, Onirim is a game where you are shuffling through your dreams and opening doors and avoiding nightmares. It is a card game where you're trying to get out of like a labyrinth of nightmares and stuff. It says here you are a dreamwalker lost in a mysterious labyrinth, and you must discover the oniric doors before your dream time runs out, or you will remain trapped forever. Sounds very fun. I hear a lot of good things about Onirim and just this whole, there's a specific name for it. I'll put it right here. There's a whole series. I think it's called like the multiverse. That's something else, Jenna. Like I said, I will put the title of the series here. I would love to try any of those, but this one specifically, I believe, was the first one, and it was published in 2010. So Onirim is one that I would love to try. Moving on to the next game, I really enjoyed the theme of this one, and I feel like it's one that I have not heard like anyone talk about. Maybe just because it's an older one and more people talked about it then and not so much now, but the game is called Fresco, I believe. It is published by Queen Games, and it was published in 2010. And Fresco, it says, buy and mix paints to restore the Renaissance fresco and earn the bishop's favor. So you were literally like mixing paints and like finishing the like ceiling, I believe, of a like church or something. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. It says in Fresco, players are master painters working to restore a fresco. What is a fresco? I don't know what a fresco is in a Renaissance church. So yes, you're in a church completing a like ceiling masterpiece. Each round begins with players deciding what time they would like to wake up during the day. Oh, kind of sounds like Sunset Over Water. The earlier you wake up, the earlier you will be in turn order, and the better options you will be guaranteed to have. Wake up early too often, however, and your apprentices will become unhappy and stop working as efficiently. They would much rather sleep in. I love this. I started off by really enjoying the theme of this one, but that just like whole trying to wake up early, but if you wake up too early too often, your apprentices get mad at you. That's kind of funny. But yes, it sounds like a fantastic game. There is action queue, grid movement, market, set collection, simultaneous action selection, and turn order stat based. So that's the whole like waking up early thing. But yeah, I really enjoy the theme of this one. It sounds fantastic, and it's one that I would love to try eventually. That is Fresco. Moving on to the next game. This is a game that was published in 2011, and I believe there's another one in this series as well, but I think that one is more recent. But the one that I'm talking about is Last Will. So this is one that I've heard Nick from the Brothers Murph chat about quite a bit. It's such a funny theme where basically you're trying to become the most poor person. You're trying to like lose all of your money. You're trying to like lose all of your reputation and just become the most like poor and sad person, I think. I don't know exactly how it plays, but it sounds hilarious. There is some worker placement as well, which I love. Action points, hand management, victory points as a resource. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that was a mechanism. But yeah, in Last Will, your rich uncle stated that all of his millions would go to the nephew who can enjoy money the most, aka the poorest. So you're trying to lose all your money so that you can get all of your uncle's money. I really want to try Last Will. Nick always speaks so highly of the gameplay of this one as well, and I just love the theme of trying to lose all your money. It's kind of like opposite of what you're trying to do in a lot of other games, so I think it would be a lot of fun. So that is Last Will. Next game is one where I first saw it actually on like a YouTube ad. This guy always came up. Let me know if you've seen this ad before, but the designer of Robinson Crusoe always came up on a YouTube ad, and I saw it and I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. The ad was like very quick. He talked very fast, but it did sound like a really, really cool game. So basically in Robinson Crusoe, which this is published in, or was published in 2012, you are trying to survive on an island basically. And this is one that Francis has really wanted to try as well. It's one that Francis has almost bought countless amounts of times, and I think we just need to go for it. It is a cooperative game, which I typically don't like jump towards, but I am willing to play. And this one sounds very fun, where you're trying to survive on an island cooperatively, and it also can be played solo, which a lot of the people in the like solo community really speak highly of it, as well as a lot of people in the Board Game Garden community has recommended it to me as well. But yeah, you're pretty much just, it's a survival game. I don't think I've seen a game with this many mechanisms in it, but there is action queue, area movement, cooperative, dice rolling, die action resolution, events, hexagon grid, map addition, movement points, narrative choice, scenario, mission, campaign game. Oh, I didn't know it was a campaign game. Oh, well, that's cool. Solo, tile placement, turn order, variable player powers, and worker placement. So it just sounds like one that I would enjoy. We don't really have a lot of like survival games in our collection. I don't think we have any. The closest one that I can think of is like Subterra, but you're not really trying to survive. You're just trying to get out of the cave. But yeah, I don't think we have any survival games. So I think it'd be fun to have a really cool thematic survival game. So that is Robinson Crusoe. Okay, so moving into the last two games, these were the most recently published, exactly 10 years ago in 2013. This one that I'm going to talk about first is a two-player only game. It is a head-to-head two-player game, and it's unlike any other head-to-head two-player game that I've seen. A lot of them, you're like trying to destroy the other person, but this one seems a little bit more calming, and I really love the theme of this one, and that is Hanamikoji. So this one, you are trying to gain the attention of these geishas, and you have this line of geishas in the middle. I don't know exactly how it plays. A lot of these I'm just interested in. I don't know the exact gameplay, but you have a line of geishas in the middle, and you're playing cards in order to try to get that geisha to go to your side, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I do think that there was a Kickstarter for this not too long ago, and it just fulfilled, so everyone's getting it. And it's been a while since this one has gone back in stock, so I'm hoping eventually I can find it in stock somewhere. Hanamikoji is one that I would absolutely love to try. It is absolutely beautiful, and I've heard nothing but good things about it, so that is Hanamikoji. And the last game is another one that was published in 2013, and this game is called CV. So this is a game that I saw so early on in our board gaming journey, and I have wanted it ever since then, and I don't know why I haven't picked this one up. I think I did get this one, and I think there's another one that has like a similar theme called The Pursuit of Happiness. I don't know when The Pursuit of Happiness came out. Pursuit of Happiness. The Pursuit of Happiness was published in 2015. CV was published in 2013, and basically it's a game of you growing up and having a life and doing things, build a better life as you gain knowledge, a career, and even find social happiness. It sounds fantastic. I think this is another theme that I was talking about in that similar video where I was talking about the like witch's potion theme. This is another theme of like just growing up and getting a job and having social happiness and just building a life with like a character. I think it would be very fun, and this is exactly that. So it's one that I would love to try. It is primarily cards and a little bit of like dice rolling, hand management, open drafting, push your luck, set collection, simulation. I didn't know that simulation was a mechanism, but yes, CV is one that I would love to try. The art is absolutely adorable, and it's just a game that I saw really early on that I was like, that sounds like a lot of fun, trying to build a life for this specific person. I don't know, it'd be fun. But yeah, that is CV. All right, friends, so that is going to be everything for today's video. These are 12 games that I want to try from over 10 years ago. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any other games that you recommend from 2013 and before. I would love to know. Just any that you guys think based off of all of the other games that I've chatted about you think I would enjoy. Comment those down below. But yes, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel be seen. Hit that subscribe button if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. Also, a huge thank you again to the Board Game Garden Patreon community for voting on this video. It was very fun. And yeah, love you guys so much. Remember, you were somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in the next board game video. Bye, friends.